and welcome to the Thursday show. That's right, it's 8 p.m. on a Thursday. That means that it is us broadcasting to you all over the world. Hello, world. Let us know where you are in the comments section. Please type us a little comment. Let us know where you are watching from and how you are while you're there. Give us a little like if you're feeling absolutely mental. Give us a little share. It is once again the show that picks you up, because that is the important thing, is that we all feel a little bit happier. Of course, we've heard that scientists say that they're anxious about the new Indian variant, but you know what? Scientists are always anxious. When was the last time you saw someone in goggles and a lab coat on a deck chair? They're always going to be nervous. This kind of whole pandemic is a bit like the Archers. They keep on bringing in characters to keep it fresh, but everyone's sick of it. So much so that over in Ohio, the local authorities are giving everyone who has the jab a chance of winning $1 million. There are 5 totals in total, so they're giving out $5 million in order to incentivize people to come forward to do the jab. I think this is a great idea. I think the UK should do this. We could call it Total Wipeout, and it would be a completely different type of game show, you know? They're also giving away things like beer, donuts, and other fatty foods. I don't know if anyone told the US that one of the main risk factors of COVID is obesity, which is generally inspired by things like beer, donuts, and other fatty foods. I mean, if we did this in the UK, it'd be a George Foreman grill, a fondue set, and a cuddly toy. But you know what? I'm not worried about the Indian variant, because I read an article on The Guardian the other day that said the main difference between the Indian variant and the UK variant is that one's better at cricket. Now, let's have a quick look. I mean, that was such a shocking joke. That's terrible. I don't know why I finished with that. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what's going on. I had last week off. Hello, Christy. I am back. Thank you very much from Melbourne. All over in the Derbyshire Dales, same joke every week. Also, Jay tuning in from the shallow gene pool in Gosport. Well, Jay, talking about the shallow end of the gene pool, we've got 2 people from Watford. So that is the theme of this week's show. But like regular viewers will know, it is not just me. My regular co-hosts will be joining me. So firstly, let's introduce a man who is like a Scottish Frankie Boyle. It's Vladimir McTavish.
Yes, tonight's show has such a shallow gene pool. I am in danger of being the most exotic person in this show. Yes, talking about gene pools and travel, the government this week, Boris Johnson announced the new travel list. Places you can go abroad and not have to quarantine when you go out to the UK, which is all well and good, except on the list, only one country is letting people from the UK into their country. So the list is Portugal. That's it. End of list. He also announced there's going to be a full independent inquiry into the government's handling of the pandemic, starting in March of next year, which presumably is to give him plenty of time to make up his version of events, or he's hoping by that time people have forgotten everything that happened in 2020 or have died, or both. We'll get a further lifting of restrictions next week. So from next Monday, people will be able to go into each other's houses, stay overnight in other people's homes, and hug each other. In other words, everything that Premier League footballers have thought was okay to do for the last 10 years. Politically, the big story in England definitely was the Hartlepool by-election. Hartlepool elected a Conservative MP for the first time ever. First time a Conservative has ever been elected MP for Hartlepool. However, they did, for the best part of 20 years, vote for Peter Mandelson as their MP, and that is pretty much the same thing, really. One of the big factors in the Hartlepool by-election was Brexit. That's what the people of Hartlepool were most concerned about, was our relationship with Europe, which really shouldn't come as a surprise, because we're talking about a town where the citizens of that town in the Napoleonic War hung a monkey because they thought it was a French spy. So you can't really be surprised. There's still a little bit. But Hartlepool by-election has, without doubt, and the council elections have given a surprise boost to the Tories and pretty much redrawn the political map of England. However, up here in Scotland, the political map of Scotland looks pretty much the same as it did last week, which is just a bit like this. There you are, it's the political map of Scotland. There's the good guys. And the wanks. Apologies for any Conservative, because the little patch of wanks there, Labour wanks, patch of Lib Dem wanks. Apologies to any Scottish Conservative voters for calling you wanks. That was totally wrong. It should say cunts. Just a slip of the pen there. In Scotland, we have a very, very complicated system of PR that nobody really understands. We can't quite understand why elections work. And this came to a head a few years ago when there was 100,000 spoilt ballots, and people didn't intentionally spoil them. They just fucking voted the wrong way. And one guy in Edinburgh was so angry about the system, he attacked his polling station with a golf club, which is a very Edinburgh way of making your feelings felt, I think. Most other cities in Scotland, they use the baseball bat. But no, Edinburgh, it has to be done the right way. Use the golf club. On political things, I don't know if many people have seen this, that Boris Johnson wants to bring in photo ID for he's going to bring in a law saying it's going to be compulsory to photo ID before you can vote, which has led to a lot of people saying, well, this disenfranchises people who don't have passports or driving licenses. But he's insistent on it. This is a man who 15 years ago, when the Labour government was talking about bringing an ID card, said that if he was asked to produce an ID card, he would take it out of his pocket and eat it. There you go. So one concludes from this that if he's willing to put any old shit into his mouth, it really should come as no surprise that any old shit's going to come out of his mouth.
Brilliant. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love it. Well, Vlad, thank you very much this week. Sorry, I just had a bit of a internet lag there, but it only means sorry, Vlad. It's time to welcome a man who's like.
I just thought you'd gone back to the 1970s in Eastern Europe for a minute.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's my girlfriend stopped winding up the old internet machine that we use as a modem. But let's welcome on a man who's like own brand washing up liquid. He's bubbly, squidgy, and incredibly cheap. It's Jay Sodagar.
Yes, bless you. Hello. Now, check this out. I managed to survive the pandemic. And right at the end of it, I now have a cold. So if I sound very nasally or chesty, I don't even know how to deal with the cold. I've been so busy washing my hands and sort of doing all this. But I had one of those COVID tests today. I had one of those COVID tests. The ones where they stick the swab up your nose and then the back of your throat and everything. I was in a drive-through. So as the nurse was sort of sticking this thing up my nose and checking the back of my throat, while she was doing it, the only thing I could think of is, I don't think I could really do BDSM. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'm built for it. I just like this thing put right at the back of my throat, and I was like, wow, they do this. I've seen the films. But yeah, no. I have a very low pain threshold and everything. So that's it. So I will get my test results hopefully tomorrow. If it's negative, you have seen just basically head cold Jay. Or if it's positive, it was nice knowing you guys. It really was. It's been a pleasure. But yeah, no, that's
It will take a while for you to actually get that ill. You'll be on next week's show.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. We will be on next week's show, and Dave will probably introduce all the guests from the week after show with this as well. This is awesome. I have to say, it is quite an impressive little DVD collection that you do have behind you there.
Thanks, mate. I nicked them all, so it's good to know.
I was going to ask for some of them back, but okay, fair enough. It's been a year. It's been a year. Bless you, James. Hospital Wi-Fi next week. Yes, exactly.
Don't give me. I can't help this. Living all the way back here in the 1980s. I love signing on to this show and hearing. But it's great hearing the dial-up modem.
And line by line, you start to appear.
Well, the irony is, you look like an A. You look like you're broadcasting from an age where DVDs were the future. Stop behind him.
Yeah, like a BBC Tomorrow's World show.
Yeah.
Like there's this thing of a digital versatile disc. It'll never take off. Well, speaking of people that are going to take off, we have got two fantastic guests for you this week. But before I bring them on, don't forget, it's not too late to donate. It's absolutely free to watch this show, but it's not free to make. So there you go. There's our little donation link, paypal.me/freefest online. That keeps our production team in caviar and champagne. But if you did want to see some live comedy that's coming up, the Brighton Fringe Festival is on its way 28th of May to the 27th of June. You can go and check out all of the different things at brightonfringefest.co.uk. There are some wonderful acts that are performing there, like one who is coming to the show today. But firstly, without further ado, it's a real pleasure to have a Leicester Mercury Comedian of the Year finalist, a Funhouse Comedy Club Champion of Champions. It's Stephanie Laing. Let's have a quick look at her in action.
Hello, fans. You're all right. Thank you for having me. Right, so I wanted to start by saying I've decided that I'm not very good at talking to humans. So this is a really career choice for me. And this is a thing that happened recently, right? I bumped into this guy who I really, really fancy, and I fucked up the conversation. So I'm going to act it out for you. He's got a beard, so when I'm being him, I'm going to go like that. Because I did a part-time acting course. So, yeah, I'm a dude. I'm a lady. I'm a dude. Good. This is it. This is me flirting. This is where I'm going to die alone. Laugh it up, dickheads. Flirty flirt. Here we go. Hello. Hi. How do we know each other again? We did that gig together in Norwich. Well, fuck me gently. Okay. And then we didn't have sex. What more could I have done? Come on! Get up there. Too early in the evening for that, maybe? You're a little bit close in the front row, possibly. But just touch it.
Please welcome our first guest of the evening, the marvelous Stephanie Laing.
Hey!
Great to see you.
You too.
Yeah. And I loved seeing that footage of you on stage, because again, it's so long since I've seen you on stage. And of course, that was when you had long hair.
Yeah, I shaved it off. I look like a very sick little boy.
It's okay. It was okay. I've looked very like a sick little boy for a number of decades now, and it's just.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah.
I'm a very sick little boy. How are you? And more importantly, where are you right now?
I am in my flat in Buckingham.
Oh, you're in Buckingham. Oh, funny.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Really
I think you're the only person I've ever met who lives in Buckingham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's full of students and very, very old people.
All right. And have you been there ever since? Because were we out in Australia together? We were out in Australia together last year, weren't we? Right at the start of all this.
Yeah, I was in New Zealand when lockdown hit, so I was stuck there briefly because my flight got cancelled, and then I booked a new one, and then that one also got cancelled. So I had to stay on a stranger's sofa for a couple of days before I was able to get home.
And you've been in Buckingham ever since?
No, I've been here for 2 months.
All right. So why? What treat you to? I don't know why I should be so fascinated with Buckingham. I think it's because I've never met anyone who's been in Buckingham.
It's not an interesting place. I moved here because weirdly I wanted to live in Milton Keynes, and somehow Buckingham is the less interesting option even than Milton Keynes. I just, all landlords are assholes, so I ended up being here because that's just where was available.
Well, that's true for us. You're the first person I've met who lives in Buckingham, and you're the first person I've ever talked to who said they actually wanted to live in Milton Keynes.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah. So, what have you been doing with yourself since March 2020? Because that pretty much is it's what children are going to ask in decades to come. What did you do during the pandemic?
Lockdown number 1, I went fully mental, like real mental. Lockdown number 2, I got a job, which I'm still doing. So I'm now a community organizer, which is awesome. It's like social justice work. And that's what I've been doing, just working and not writing any comedy, which I feel very guilty about, but also I can't be asked. So I'm just going to do exactly that same shit again.
Right.
When I get back on stage, I'm just going to be like,
"Hey, if it works, don't fix it." Yeah. No, but that's what you feel guilty about not doing. See, most comedians feel guilty about the fact they've been doing fuck all, let alone working the social justice. Most comedians talk to, well, I thought I'd learn a language, but then never got around to it. And I bought a bicycle. I never rode it, and I've just sat watching telly for 14 months. But you've gone out and got a job.
I got a job, and I'm learning Portuguese, and I started doing martial arts as well. So now I can kick butts.
Fucking hell! Wait a minute. Are you taking the social justice to Portugal in a violent fashion?
I am. I'm going to beat up some.
In case the junta comes back from the 1970s.
Yeah, I'm just going to kick some key political figures in the face in the name of accountability.
Well, there's plenty of them. I've got a list. So Portuguese. Now, presumably, that is just a piece of good luck that you were learning Portuguese when it was announced that Portugal is the only country you can get to on a UK passport and get back into the UK. It's in linguistic terms, you bought a lottery ticket.
I did. I hadn't even thought of that until you said it. Yeah, this is amazing. I can't say many things. I can say like the woman has a small green dog, and where are my trousers, sir, and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to thrive.
I can read it.
You can read Portuguese?
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Why? Well, because I can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I can work it all out. I could never, for the life of me, speak a word of it or understand a word that a Portuguese person was saying to me. But if you found it in and likewise Catalan, when I'm in Barcelona, I can understand Catalan because I speak French and Spanish, and it's kind of like a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
But again, people talk to you because, in fact, I can speak okay Spanish, but my ear is very much located in Scotland. So when someone talks back to me, I don't The first time my wife and myself went to Spain together, we were in Granada, in Andalusia. And Granada is an ancient city, actually very like Edinburgh, where we is our home. And at night, we were in the old town, and at night there was a barrier that came across the end of our street, and the taxi driver couldn't go actually all the way to our apartment. We had to walk the last 50 meters down this little alleyway. And so we got the bus from Malaga Airport to Granada, got this taxi from the bus station, and I said to the taxi driver, in this what sounded like completely fluent Spanish, because the thing is, if you're an actor and you've done acting training, learning a language is a bit like a script, isn't it? And it's the two skills we have are memory and impersonation. So I had this fucking script. Well, can you take us to the address and Calle de Guacarro, the street was called? Just roll this out. And this Spanish taxi driver, God, this guy can speak. And he just spoke back at me. And Christine said, what did he say? I said, so what prompted Portuguese? Was it just stuck a needle in a map, or languages, or
the martial art that I'm learning? God, I'm such a wanker, honestly. I'm learning capoeira.
You represent the pandemic. We've all become wankers. I've started baking bread.
Oh, you absolute twat!
Exactly. What a prick.
So I've started doing capoeira, which is a Brazilian dance martial art thing, and Portuguese is the language of Brazil, and so a lot of the language of all of the language of capoeira is Portuguese. And I'd love to go to Brazil and not feel like too much of a dickhead. So I'm learning for that reason.
I wouldn't go to Brazil now.
Not right now.
No.
Give him a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That really is. So basically, it's so you can go to Brazil and speak. Because you did that for a while, didn't you? Or did you train?
I did like a year's acting course thing. I haven't done much acting. I don't really know how that side of things works. I think I'm all right at it. I'm very good at crying. I would say on average 3 times a day, I will cry. I started rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer last night from the first episode, and I genuinely just started crying because I was thinking about how much she doesn't really want to be a vampire slayer. It's just not ideal for her, and I openly wept. My emotions are right here.
So, but we've been rewatching from the start Silent Witness.
Oh yeah.
There's fucking loads of it. We're on series 17, and there's about another 10 to go. Fuck's sake.
Holy shit.
Yeah. In fact, during the first lockdown, we got up to series 15, and I thought, fuck it, I was actually feeling jealous of the corpse. At least that person's getting out.
Yeah, they're out and about. Yeah, look at them. They're allowed to touch that dead body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're meeting friends.
Yeah, human contact. Yeah. Cold, dead human contact.
Take that person, disemboweling that person, and he's not wearing a face mask.
Nowadays, you're not allowed to murder people unless it's from 2 meters away.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not planning on coming back comedy anytime soon, or are you planning on doing it as soon as you can?
I am, yeah. I've got some gigs booked in from June, so my job's 3 days a week, and then I'll keep doing comedy the rest of the time. I miss it. I miss it so much. I feel like it's how I process my life. So because the last year has been really shit for everybody, I mean, I've been very lucky, but I'm just usually when something shit happens, I'm like, well, I'll make this funny and then it'll be okay. But I feel like it's just been a year of lots of shit happening and then me not knowing what to do with it, just being like, oh, it's shit.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I guess if you've only recently moved to Buckingham, you probably don't bump into that many people you know. But I'm always out in the street. I'm bumping into people in Edinburgh that I know, and the one thing they all say is, "Oh well, this is a good time for you." I said, I'm not working. I said, "Oh yeah, but you must be getting plenty of material." I said, "Yeah, I am, but I've got nowhere to use it."
Yeah.
and the thing is, I think this whole thing's gone on so long that and it's changed so often, and we've been doing this show for 6 months now as well, is that there's some material about COVID that is now out of date.
Yeah.
And,
COVID is passé now.
Yes, last year's virus. So when you do come back, where can we see you?
Oh, where am I going to be? Mostly, I'm not doing festivals this year because I haven't written a show, I haven't written anything. So I'll just be around gigging in places around the UK, popping up.
I must admit, it is one thing, doing this show every week, it's quite nice just being able to come into a room, do the show, and then go out the other side of the door and be back at home.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but because I used to do so much travel, and the one thing I don't miss is traveling.
Yeah. It's all the stuff around comedy that's a bit shit, isn't it? All of the driving and the admin and then getting home late. And
well, I did a gig up for a promoter in Aberdeen about a month or so back. On a Friday evening, I had to be in the attic, which is where I am now. I had to be here at 8 o'clock. Was finished by 9. But fucking hell, if I'd had to drive to Aberdeen to do that gig, I'd have left about 3 in the afternoon and been back about 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And being in Aberdeen.
Yeah. Boo. I used to live in Aberdeen. I was there.
I know,
that's
right, so you did, yeah.
That's where we met.
That's right, yeah, at the Blue Lamp.
Yeah. In response to Liam Green, that question, yes, really will be back in Edinburgh next year.
And
not
Liam,
this year.
There may be something 21, Liam, but we don't know.
Yeah, there's too much. The game show. So I do a game show called Really. It's a game show with a wheel, except we've lost the wheel. But which is my favourite part of the show, to have a show called Really, but there ain't no wheel. But there's a lot of touching in it, so I think probably best not to do it at the moment. It's quite grabby.
How big was your wheel?
Well, I lie when I say we've lost it. I just think it's funny that we don't have it. So it's in my bedroom and it's about this big.
Oh, yeah, because I've got 2 wheels that big, so you could have had one of mine.
Ooh.
And in response, Liam, you never know. There might be something. There might be an Edinburgh Fringe this year, as long as you're willing to be 2 meters away from me and everyone else in the audience. So, I'm really interested in this day job you've got, because it does sound really kind of worthwhile and valid. I think that's one thing about our job is, I don't know about you, but it is quite trivial, isn't it? Comedy.
It can feel that way. I don't think it is really. I think the arts are really important for connecting people and talking about things that need to be talked about, and affecting the zeitgeist and all of that, affecting popular opinion. That's important.
Yes, I get that argument, and I would get it if the only people I ever heard it from weren't other artists.
Yeah, so true.
I can tell you, it is never the talk of the upstairs in a 27 bus.
No, it's never a firefighter being like, what you do is vital.
Yeah, that's right. It's never anyone on the way up to the High Court saying, well, I wouldn't have got into the trouble I'm in.
Yeah, if only I'd had an intervention
I can shut down that comedy club. I would be up in front of the judge. No, you're right though. It is, and a lot of people are bummed. You say, when are you going to open again? Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, well done for getting out there and getting a job, because I've done fuck all.
Thanks.
Apart from my weekly voluntary work.
Yes. What
Yeah.
weekly voluntary work do you do?
I am at the cutting edge of medical science.
Uh-huh.
I work behind the counter in the cancer research shop.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
Very fun. And well, it's an important issue.
Mhm.
We have now found that the cure for cancer is probably ladies' tops.
Is it?
Yeah,
we thought
it was trousers, but not.
No, I thought it was probably either ladies' tops or like ill-fitting skirts. One of those two.
And sometimes, round about December, it was pretty much almost certain the cure was Christmas cards.
Yeah. Rub them on the affected area.
Exactly. Yeah, do that. Well, it's a real joy having you on the show. Do stick around, because we have got an exciting part of the show, because you are from Watford originally, I believe.
So many boring places in my life.
No, Watford and Buckingham is far too showbiz. And I come back to my original comment. Maybe being the most exotic place on the show. No, we have got a quiz later on, Steph, which is all about Watford. Myself and Jay and Dave have had to go away and find out how much we didn't know about Watford, but we do now.
The buzzing
Well, you know
monopolist.
what? We have got that to look forward to. We've also got another guest, but before we do, one thing I was going to say is Vlad does numerous unpaid jobs, and this would be one of them. It's not too late to donate. If you do want to pay Vlad, he can buy a cup of tea or an ill-fitting lady's top. It's PayPal.me/free bank.
One place at Stockbridge and buy a pair of second-hand trousers.
There you go. Buy a pair of second. Also, I think it's very worth saying as well in the chat, a hell of a lot of love for Wheelie 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 Wheelie. It's a very long title of a show, but people are absolutely loving that. So coming to a fringe festival near you to spread the new variant. But we have now got a man. We've now got a man who is going to be arrested by the police. Don't worry, he's getting the help he needs. But before that, we're going to throw to a man who is described as one to watch because he's a little bit of a wrong-un. He is LJ Defunct. Let's have a look at him in action.
To come to Stoke and Church Moor. Anyway, I recently went on a shopping trip. Can you imagine such a thing? I did. I went on a shopping trip. I went to a bookstore. I went to this bookstore. There was a crazy guy there. He thought he was Jesus. He was going, I'm Jesus, I'm Jesus, I'm Jesus Christ Almighty. So to fuck with him, I took a Bible off the shelf and said, I know how you died. And he could summon no rejoinder to my Jake. Another time, they found a rejoinder to get this man a glass of Calpol. Another time, on my shopping trip, I went to Waitrose. I don't know if you have that here. I went to Waitrose. At the cold meats counter, they'll wear a badge that says, do you like your ham thickly sliced? Just ask. So I said, do I like my ham thickly She can summon no rejoicing to my
Oh, here we are again. Ladies and gentlemen, this does not give me any great pleasure at all, but it's always fun interviewing this guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the one, the only, Mr. LJ the Funk.
Sodagar!
LJ, how are you?
How the fuck are you? How are you still gainful employed?
I
Have you
know.
seen that bullshit?
Look, the reason why me and you always get paired up when it comes to interviews is that we both enjoy taking the piss out of each other.
No, that's not true. Last time I had Vladimir, he asked me some very pertinent questions.
Lovely, and the echo works beautifully with you as well. My point being is, it's always a pleasure kind of taking the piss out of you. But also, how is your mum?
My mother is fine. Mama the fuck, she's a wonderful lady.
This is brilliant. We have technical difficulties. I'll put it
You is echoing. You still echo. What's wrong with you? Y'all technical problem. Not me. Look, I'm myself when you talk.
I'm absolutely fine. I think there's someone on an echo somewhere or other. Just kept this thing on.
I was hoping you still echo. You is the technical problem. I think if I was you, I would use comedy. I use comedy. Maybe the only people can hear an echo is you and me. And the whole wide world is like, why is these dumb motherfuckers talking about an echo that's going red? Whoever fuck those motherfuckers. This show is not for other motherfuckers' entertainment. This show is for my enjoyment. The voice in my head is echoing. Thank you.
So,
Sodagar, this is supposed to be an interview. In 5 minutes, you ain't asked me one fucking question. You was a scam interviewer. You was like Alan Yenkow. Ask me a question.
Now, you are doing a show at the Brighton Fringe.
No, I ain't.
Two things. Number one, why are you doing an hour? And number two, I guess you're quite lucky because social distancing won't affect you because there'll be no one there. And three, tell us a bit about the show.
Well, number one, I'm doing an hour. It's so funny. I have at least 47 minutes of material, although I ain't wrote them yet, but I could. What it says on the screen, yeah. Secondly, what was your second? I forgot your other questions. It was insulted. I was insulted. Don't ask me multiple questions at a time. My brain does not process multiple things at a time. What's question 2?
Tell us a bit about the show. Tell us a bit about the show. Go on. It's called Conspiracy Motherfucker.
It's Conspiracy Motherfucker. My show is about how the David Icke, or as I call him, David Icke, believes that the lizards are in charge and that somebody replaced Avril Lavigne. But the twist is the person they replaced Avril Lavigne was Avril Lavigne. So everything's fine. Also chemtrails. And there's a running joke about it's very funny. It's too I'll make myself laugh too much if I talk about it.
It's probably the best show you've written so far. It really
I have not written it, so it's not. But when I do, it will be the best show I've written.
Now, finally, this show is all about Watford. And two things. Number one, have you ever been to Watford Coliseum?
I've never been to Watford. I'm from Alabama.
I figured as much. But secondly, is the reason why you're in Alabama because the Watford police have got a picture out on you? Is that what it is?
No, it's because I'm from Alabama. There's a reason why you is it.
I mean, you understand how time-space continuum works. I'm in a place because I'm in that place.
Maybe. I think police in Watford are trying to find some guy called Zach Split, and somehow you look a bit like him. Maybe this is why. Have you heard of Zach Split?
No, I live in Alabama. I don't know who you is. I don't know who Zach Split is. I don't know what Watford is. I don't know what anything is that you is saying, Sodagar. Every time you come on this show, I try to have a civilized conversation. You turn it into a fucking bullshit farce. I'm tired. I will not come back on this show until you learn to treat you with some goddamn respect, Sodagar.
I do have respect, but not for you, obviously. But no, it's always a pleasure roasting you, LJ. We should actually do a show together. We genuinely should do a show together. Oh, look! I think has been licking a few listens. I think that's been DJ.
I like it when DJ. I'm going to get burned. I'm going to get called DJ. I think that PK1 has been licking a few testicles.
We should do a show together sometime soon where it's just us two roasting each other for an hour.
I will be the artistic director.
There'll be a massive cock just drawn.
I was only intending to draw an enormous penis behind us. So yeah.
Listen, LJ, you're obviously coming from Alabama to Brighton and so on and so forth. What is your genuine view about the UK? Sum it up in that final question.
My view of the UK is a dumb fucking country full of dumb fucking motherfuckers. However, my comedy is so nuanced and intelligent, the people from my country don't understand it. So I have to come all the way to your dumb fuck country so somebody will laugh at my shit.
That's the way to get them in. Listen, LJ. Oh, here we go. You got about this. This is the video from where you are right now. Oh, I've been there. There you go. You're near Watford High Street. This is Watford High Street.
It is Watford High Street. I don't know how I know that, but it is. Ooh. That's Primark on the right. Ooh, I love Primark. Very good. Clothware. Where I get my clothware. Tesco Express on the left. That's where I get my fine green beans.
There's a Greg's there for you. Look, there's a kid who's being kidnapped. This is lovely.
I like it, Greg's. I like it when I buy pasta and it's cold.
Hey, exactly. Listen, LJ, it's always fun having you here. We got more. Look at this. I have no idea. We have all sorts of technical difficulties. You're echoing, I'm echoing. It's almost
I have no idea whether everybody hears an echo or just you and me hears an echo, and to everybody it sounds normal. Maybe we is going mad. Is this more Watford? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yes, they got the bollard.
Yes. There's a restaurant just down there that I've been to called L'Artista, which is a very nice restaurant. There you go.
But I don't want to get serious on your ass, but L'Artista is a genuinely fantastic restaurant, and dumb fucks like you should not be allowed there. I hate you, Sodagar. I hope people hear the echo. I hope it sounds like misery to their ears. Because I don't want you going to my favorite Italian restaurant. We are dumb fuck St. Albans attitude. It's not for you.
I'm just surprised you can afford it. I'm just as surprised.
I can't. It's cheap. It's like £5 of chicken Kiev.
Listen, we may have another video. I have no idea, but ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure having you, LJ.
They have another video of whom?
Of Watford, probably of Watford. I think. There you go.
Oh, we got Barracuda. Can I talk you through it? We got Barracuda on the right. We got Fly Away on the right, the cheap pizza place. We got, is that Nando's on the left? Chicken Nando's. We got the
Junglers was down here
on the right. Ooh, fantastic.
Watford Junglers used to be down here as well, if I'm not mistaken.
They did, but they didn't pay any of the acts, so they died.
Brilliant. We saw the tourist board of Watford. This is lovely. But yes, hello Dave, hello Vlad, hello Stephanie.
I don't know if there's a gas leak where I am, or if that was just really weird. What happened? What just? Does anyone want to, lads? Can you summarise what just happened?
It sounded to me like the PA they used to use at sports day at school.
Terrible person.
Did everybody hear the echo?
Oh, not anymore.
No.
Not now.
While I was talking to Sodagar, was there echo?
Yeah, big one.
It was like the sound of music while you were just doing some yodeling right there. That's
I blame Sodagar. His equipment is not up to scratch, by which I mean his technical equipment and his balls.
Well, now we have robustly talked about Jay's Sodagar, we can move on to our wonderful Watford quiz.
Yes, we've got a round each. I'm doing a round, Jay's doing a round, Dave's doing a round. My round, starting here. All questions about Watford. Question number 1. Watford City, North Dakota, as we all know, the 12th largest city in North Dakota, is nearby to a national park named after which US president? There's only been 47 of them.
I'm going to go Lincoln.
Lincoln, not a bad one. LJ?
Washington.
Theodore Roosevelt. But for a bonus, what is happening this weekend in Watford, North Dakota? Any big events in Watford, North Dakota this weekend?
I think there's probably a cattle market.
I was going to say a meat raffle.
Nothing tomorrow. On Saturday, there is a Scandinavian Arts Craft Fair and 24-hour Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. There you go. That is everything. Everything that happens in Watford City, North Dakota. Question number 2. Right. With which
what is going on with the show this week? Just what? This used to be. It used to be half decent. What's going on?
Right. Question number 2. With which city in the USA is Watford, Hertfordshire twinned?
Wilmington, Delaware.
Absolutely spot on. Absolutely right. Yes. Good question. Right. Question number 3. LJ in the lead. Question number 3. As we all know, Watford Gap Services is nowhere near Watford. Right. According to AA Route Planner, how far is it from Watford Town Hall to Watford Gap Services? Now, I'll accept answers in either distance or journey time.
I'm going to say 23 miles.
23
I say
miles.
longer. I say 40 miles.
40 miles. Well, you are nearer, LJ. The answer is 60.7 miles or 1 hour, 4 minutes. That's according to the AA Classic Route Planner. So, yeah, LJ, 1.5. Stephanie, at the moment, 0.
Well done to play for as we move.
And you got
Sorry,
Dave for round 2.
I'm on a lag here. I'm in the 1980s. Which one of these celebs is not from Watford? A. Bradley Walsh, B. Noel Edmonds, or C. Jerry Halliwell? Who goes for it? Which one of these celebs is not?
Noel Edmonds
Noel
is not from
Edmonds.
Watford. Definitely not
What
Noel
did he
Edmonds.
say?
Noel Edmonds, no way.
Edmonds.
I can tell you, it's with a heavy heart, that the great late Noel Edmonds is not from Watford. He's not dead either, but his career is. So there we go. We've still got LJ in the leads.
There you go. There you go. So LJ is on 2.5 and Stephanie is on 1. Here we go. So now this is a true or false round. So famous people from Watford, true or false? Pope Adrian I. True or false?
True.
True. Wow.
What's Langley?
Stephanie?
I'm going to say false.
False is correct.
Suck it, LJ.
There was a British Pope, but he was Pope Adrian IV, not the first, because I knew LJ might know how to use Google at some point and figure this out.
I don't know about Google. I just know all about Watford because I've done a collegiate degree in Watford studies at Alabama Tech. You fuck.
That would be
Stephanie's catching up.
believable.
Stephanie's catching up because I knew Stephanie couldn't use Google. So this is how I know. This is it. So it's all in your favor. So question number two. Famous people from Watford, true or false? Michael Benteen, the comedian from the 70s.
Oh, fuck knows. Yeah.
This is from that college degree that Mr. LJ DeFunk had got about Watford.
I've done a degree in Watford studies, but I don't know about no Mikhail Benteen.
So what's your answer? True or false? You're 50%.
I say the opposite to whatever Stephanie Laing says.
I think it's true.
I think it's false.
You just shot yourself in the foot there, Mr. LJ DeFunk. The answer is actually true.
Oh, shit! I want a steward's inquiry.
So it's Stephanie on 3, I believe, and LJ on 2.5. So here we go. The final question. It's all in. It's half a point. Final question. True or false? From Watford, Vinnie Jones.
True.
Yes. Yeah, true.
True. You are absolutely right. It is true. He is from Watford. Technically, the final scores are Stephanie is on 3 and LJ is on 2.5. I believe Stephanie is the winner. There you go.
Hey. I'm from Alabama and I don't know nothing about no dumb English town.
Well, in true Watford style, Stephanie, your prize is despair. But what we are going to do now is we are going to move on to the final task of the show, where you can claw it back and LJ can win himself some sweet, sweet despair. It's time to move on to our round. There's absolutely in no way nicked from a very popular Channel 4 show, Mastaska. Yes, it is the kind of game show equivalent of David Cameron. It just won't go away, even though I really want it to. So, Mastaska, this week, what we're going to ask you to do is to blindfold draw one of Watford's greatest heroes. One of Watford's greatest heroes is, of course, Mr. Elton John. So, I'm going to ask you to pop those masks over your eyes. We're going to use them as a blindfold. You will have 30 seconds to draw a picture of sainted hero of Watford, Elton John. Your time starts now. So we're going to, I'm fairly sure Jay looks like he's trying to waterboard himself by the looks of it, whereas Stephanie looks like she's doing a YouTube video for homespun yoga meditation, whereas Vlad looks like he's doing something quite indecent to himself off camera, especially from where he's looking, as well as AJ looks like he's ripped up Anthea Turner's spandex from the late 1990s from where I am broadcasting. You only have 10 seconds left. Keep that going. I love that I can see both of Jay's hands showing that he's working incredibly hard. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go. Thank you very much, Liam Green Jacket, who says LJ looks like a really bad bank robber. That's got nothing to do with the mask over his eyes. He just generally looks like a wrong gun. So let's have a look at those photos. In at the top right, we have got Vlad. Let's have a look at yours. What? You see, that's quite good.
I think it looks like Stewie from Family Guy.
Yeah. That's brilliant. I like it. Going from, all the way down the spectrum, LJ.
I think that's exactly what Elton John looks like.
I do remember Holly growing out of his eyes. Next up, we've got Steph. Let's have a look at Steph's.
Oh, actually quite good. This is his keyboard.
Oh, very good.
It's all right, isn't it?
That is incredible. It's the love child of Elton John and Eric Pickles. Look at that. And finally, we go over to Mr. Sodagar.
You know what's coming. You know what's coming. It's a penis with some glasses. It's a penis with some glasses. There you go. Look at that.
Look at that. The reveal would have been even better had we been able to see it.
One small ball. But the other one's big.
Thanks, Liam.
You know what? I'm going to pass it over this week to the judging of the audience. Let's have a look at what the audience thinks of LJ's. We have got 2 out of 10. Coming up next, we're going to have a look at Vlad's from the audience. We've got 7 out of 10. And then Stephanie, what have we got?
8. Oh, shit. Whoa.
10.
10 out of 10 to finish. Stephanie wins. There we go. Well done. Now it comes on to the time of the show where we can plug everything that you've got. So, Stephanie, where can people find you on the socials if they want to follow you and hear more about Wheelie and everything you're up to?
Stephanie_Lang on Twitter and on Instagram, Stephanie Lang Comedian. And we'll be back at some point doing things.
Absolutely. And a man who says that he will be back, sounding more like a threat than a hopeful choice. It is LJ. Where are you going to be next, my friends?
Fuck you, Chawner. I'll be at the Brighton Fringe fucking you in the asshole, you prick. Also, when I'm not fucking Chawner in the asshole, I'll be doing my show, LJ the Funk at the Brighton Fringe, conspiracy motherfucker. On the dates people could see on screen, that is probably the dates I'm doing my show.
So there we go, from me and my gaping anal cavity after LJ is finished with us. I would just like to say a huge thanks. Don't forget, it's not too late to donate. Don't forget to check out the Brighton Fringe Festival. Massive round of applause to Stephanie Lang, LJ the Buggering Funk, Vladimir McTavish, Jay Sodagar. I've been Dave Chawner. We'll see you next week for some mayhem. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Oh.
Oh, there's Latista. There's Latista. Look. That's a great restaurant.
I'm going there tomorrow.
No.